Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for joining us on the show today. I know you're here to tell us a little bit about Freaky Friday, the musical that is about to come out, but also a little bit about this very, very exciting new theatre company that you've set up called Theatrical. But welcome to the program, Andrew.
Thank you so much.
So, Andrew, tell us a little bit, maybe to start off with, a little bit about Theatrical, the brand new theatre company that you're involved with.
Yeah, it's not quite brand new, although it seems brand new. Timing wasn't really my going for me. I launched Theatrical in February 2020. And a few weeks later, we were in lockdown in Melbourne, so timing wasn't great. We did manage to get a musical out in November that year after lots of false starts, and another one in March this year. So this will actually be our third production, but it still feels brand new because we've only, with Victoria's lockdowns, we've only really just been able to start building the momentum and getting the traction and getting the support from volunteers, members and audiences. But Theatrical's really about people coming together, sharing their skills, exploring what excites them, being able to express their creativity, and promoting positive mental health. And we use the medium of musical theatre to do that. So it's not just about people who sing, dance and act on stage. It's about everything to do with producing a musical theatre show. So the set building, the scenic painting, the making of props, the designing and creating the costumes, ushers, sound designers, lighting designers, really anything and everything that you can think of that has something to do with producing musical theatre, even the social media and all that sort of stuff, is things that we encourage people in the community to do for our shows.
People often forget the behind-the-scenes people when it comes to theatre and film. I was talking to someone recently who said to me that they didn't believe the figures when they said that some of the films being shot in Australia have up to 1,000 people working on them. How important is that backstage element, like you said, the people doing social media, the people ushering, building sets? How important is that to a theatre company like the one that you've set up?
It's absolutely vital. I mean, the singers, dancers, and actors is what the audience see and what people generally associate with live theatre. But if it wasn't for the lighting guys, you literally wouldn't see what's happening on stage. With musical theatre, like with radio, sound is so absolutely important. The front of house team, the ushers, the people that help audience members get to their seats, and of course the people that are involved with the set building and the scenic painting and the costume making. I mean, they're all really integral to putting a show together, and it's really a great opportunity for people in the community to get involved with something as fun and exciting and positive as a live theatre production, even if they're not naturally performers.
Definitely. So the new production that you're being put together right now is Freaky Friday. Tell us a little bit about Freaky Friday and why you made the decision to go with this musical.
Yeah, Freaky Friday's a fun musical. It's a Disney musical. That's also been a movie. In fact, there's been 3 movies, and it started off as a novel. Freaky Friday, the novel was written by Mary Rogers, and Mary is the daughter of Richard Rogers. And Richard Rogers is a very famous musical theatre person in his own right. He and Oscar Hammerstein wrote a number of very well-known Broadway musicals, including The Sound of Music. Yeah. So there's that sort of Broadway musical theatre pedigree with Freaky Friday, even without the Disney connection. But it's a feel-good, family-friendly musical. But that classic story of teen angst and a mother and daughter misunderstanding each other and trying really hard to understand each other's perspective, and then it sort of veers right away from reality, and they magically trade bodies for a day, and it's all about empathy and self-discovery. And it's fun, it's funny, but it's also got some really important messages that I think and hope will resonate with audiences beyond just the humour and fun of the musical itself on the surface.
And the great thing about this, about Freaky Friday, is that with the different productions we've seen over the years, like you said, it does have some deep themes in there, but there are also themes that can be understood and enjoyed by people of all ages. Are you aiming this production for families right through, from kids right through to adults?
Yeah, we are. We've and in the cast too, we've got a 12-year-old boy playing the role of Fletcher. Nathaniel's a great up and coming musical theatre talent. We've got a few teenagers in the cast and some adults, including cast members playing a grandma and a grandpa role. So it's a very wide age range on stage, and I think that'll appeal to a fairly broad audience. And we're at Chapel Off Chapel, which is a fairly easy to get to venue in Melbourne. And I think I'd like to think people of all ages will be able to get something out of the musical, whether it's entertainment or whether it's sort of going away and having a bit of a deeper think about some of the themes that are brought up. There's a single mum who's bringing up her two kids, and she's the one that trades bodies with her daughter. The father passed away and the mother's remarrying, and there's the tension of a stepfather coming into the fold, and there are lots of fairly big themes that are touched on. Really, it's a great fun musical. The music's amazing. Tom Kitt and Brian Yorkie, the writers composers of the music, they are also the creative team behind the last show that we did by coincidence, If Then, Next to Normal, and Jagged Little Pill, which is of course touring Australia at the moment. So it's great music, great story, and hopefully a really good fun night out or matinee out, depending on what time of day you come see the show.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you mentioned the cast. Now, Lila DeGrazia and Stephanie Powell are going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting here as the mother-daughter. Tell us a little bit about them as performers and how you knew that they were the perfect choice for those roles.
Well, yeah, they're fantastic. We're very lucky to have Steph and Lila leading the show. We had, like with everything we do at theatrical, we're open, we're inclusive, we're diverse, and I'd like to think we're very welcoming. We had open auditions. There were people that I've worked with before as performers who came and auditioned for the show. As it happens, I've never worked with either Lila or Steph in a full-blown musical before, so it was an absolute treat to see them come into the audition room. We've got 17 cast members in the show. We had, I don't remember the exact number, but we had over 100 people come and audition, and it's mind-blowing and humbling to just see and hear the talent that we've got here in Melbourne. People that just want to come out and have a go, and to put their all into performing something, and a lot of people that do it, this isn't their day job. This is either something that they do as a passion and a hobby, or maybe it's something they want to do as a career down the track. But all of our performers are it's not their main gig.
Yeah, and you've got some world-class people working on this production as well. Of course, you've got Bronte, the director. You've also got Bridie Clark, who is from Broadway, basically. Tell us a little bit about as you said before, the behind-the-scenes cast and crew that you've got working on this as well, and some of their talents.
Yeah, so Bronte, our director, she's fantastic. She's been a performer for a very long time. In 2020, I think, she directed her first musical, her first full-blown musical, and I happened to see that just as a member of the audience, and I was quite blown away with the way she was able to pull that show together, and so I stored in the back of my mind that I'd love the opportunity to work with her one day, and here we are working together as director and producer on theatrical production of Freaky Friday. Peter, our musical director, is an incredibly talented and experienced musician. He's a music teacher by day, and he does a lot of performing as well in theatre. He's in a lot of orchestra pits in professional and school and community productions, and he's been a terrific person to have as part of our production team, guiding our cast through the fantastic music of this show, and Bridie Clark, our choreographer. It's a bit of a happy sad story. She started off in community theatre in Melbourne, and found her way to New York and to Broadway, which is of course the capital of musical theatre in the world. And when COVID struck, you may recall that Broadway was shut down for the first time, I think, since World War II, and she came home. She came home because the work dried up, and when the work dried up, I believe with her visa, she had to come back to Australia, and she did, and she was doing dance teaching and working on a few passion projects. I've known Bridie for a little while, and the opportunity presented itself for her to work with us on Freaky Friday. So we've got a world class performer and Broadway person that's choreographer of our show. She actually got a gig back on Broadway a few weeks ago. She landed back in Melbourne a few days ago after spending a few weeks on Broadway. So we did a fairly intense choreography session with our cast over a few weeks before Bridie headed off to be a part of this project in New York. And she's back now, and she's back focused on Freaky Friday and getting the cast ready for our opening on the 8th of September.
Now, that is absolutely amazing. You mentioned that it starts on the 8th of September, and I'm glad that I'm coming along on opening night. But for all of our listeners out there, tell us the dates that the production is running, and also where can they go to grab tickets? That's the important question.
Thanks. We open on the 8th of September, and we run through until it's a limited season until the 18th of September. There are some weeknight performances, there are weekend performances, there are evening performances and matinees. So sort of getting back to what we were talking about before, we reckon this is a story that will appeal to a lot of people. We're also performing at a lot of different times in order for it to be hopefully convenient for people to come along at one stage or another. And if people go to our website, theatrical.com.au, there are links there to buy tickets, or of course go to chapeloffchapel.com.au, which is the theatre that we're performing in. Either of those links will take you straight to the box office.
That's amazing, and we'll also put those links up as well through our socials and on our website. And if you're listening on the podcast, those links will be directly beneath where you found the podcast. Andrew, to finish off, what would you like to say to people out there who are thinking about heading along and checking out Freaky Friday?
Yeah, look, I'm absolutely come along. If you're in Melbourne, or if you can get to Melbourne, come along. It'll be a great fun night out. But also, if you've ever thought about getting involved in something fun and creative, whether you're a performer or not, theatre's a great way to do that. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to learn skills. It's a great way to share the skills that you might already have. And it's amazing how many people don't consider themselves as theatre people until they come along and start getting involved with theatrical, and they find their tribe with us, which is one of the most exciting and rewarding things I do as a producer and the founder of this group. So we always welcome new people to come along, either to sit in the audience or to participate in some of the stuff that we're producing.